Hey guys, come on in, come on in, come on in. Let me see if I can turn this thing off because my son's phone will keep talking the whole time. Hey, welcome, come on in. We are live, 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 live. Come on in, we are live. Welcome. Let me go ahead and go inside of the group as well. Go inside of the group because we are currently live. How was y'all weekend? How was the weekend? I can't believe it's Monday. Like this year is just flying by. Like it's just like literally just flying by. Like it's just you turn around and the time is just flying by. Hey Dolores, I was wondering where you were having I know you're on your 90 days live show. How are you doing, beautiful? How's your live show coming? Yeah, your 90 day. I love it. Love it. Thanks for giving me one. Let me check my thing to make sure everything is good. Okay, good, 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 good. So that's good, good. Come on in here. Today we're talking about your business movement manifesto, the 3 steps of transformation. Come on in here. Give me a one in the chat just to make sure that you can hear me inside of the group. We are live on our Facebook group, which is Group for Ambitious Women in Sales and Finance, and we are live on our YouTube channel. Let's go. Let me make this screen a little bit bigger so I can see y'all. I can see y'all. Oh, she said she need more topics. Okay, maybe this tonight probably going to help you a lot, a whole lot, whole lot. So while we talking about this, why are we talking about the business movement manifesto, along with having just wrapped up my credibility cash flow challenge. We just wrapped that up, teaching you how to build your credibility and cash flow. Right after that, I was on another challenge, and it just was like surprising to me because different topic but kind of the same idea, same point of view. And I was like, wow, there's so many people that are not realizing why this building your credibility is so important. And I'm glad that there's other teachers out there, there are other coaches, consultants, speakers that are out there that are telling people about building that credibility. So right after the challenge, I had to run off and go to my son's soccer game. So I have went to my son's soccer game because they play soccer. So my son is with his soccer team, and this is his first year playing competitive soccer. Shout out to him. He made a team, and the team is actually their first year together. So they're still learning each other. They're still trying to figure out, the rhythm of each other. And I remember one of the things the coach said to me, he said to all the parents, not just me, he says, listen, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to coach him. Let me coach him, right? Because, mamas, we love to put our own little, twig on it and tell them what to do. I'm that mama you don't want to sit by at a soccer game, okay? I'm that mama you don't want to sit by at a soccer game. So, but the reality is, as I watched him play, he's one of the youngest one on the team, doing super well. The team is still trying to get to know each other. Hey Bonnie, how you doing, beautiful? Hey Sandra, come on in here. Hey Angel, hey Sharon, say hello as you come in. And long story short, this is like our ninth game. So within the eighth game, after everything was said and done, because I was kind of silent after the game, I would just praise him, tell him good job, encourage him, inspire him. And after the eighth game, we drove like an hour to go watch him play. And after that game, baby, the last game, I ripped right in. I said, listen to me. I said, listen to me. I says, you are smaller than everyone on your team, but your advantage point is because you can be faster. So I say you're not stronger because you're smaller, but your advantage point is the fact that you are faster. So if you know how to dribble the ball, y'all listen to me. This is related to business. If you know how to dribble the ball faster than anybody else, they cannot stop you. So don't let your asthma, don't let your heart condition, don't let any of that get in the way, because you just have to use your advantage in order to move. Yes, I mean, some of the guys was they should have been in middle school. I don't know how they on that team, but I really was telling him that, listen, the point here in this is that this matter is, yes, they're bigger, yes, they've been playing longer than you, yes, you barely made the team based on your age, yes, you have asthma, yes, you have a hole in your heart, yes, you have all these adversities against you. However, you're faster, you're smaller because you're faster. So if you look at what's good or what's going on, how you can use that to your advantage, you will be unstoppable. Y'all, if you're just joining me, we're talking about business movement and manifesto. Now, here's the thing. The team is just getting together. They just literally get together. So this is their first competitive year. They just met each other on the team. Like I said, Dylan just made a team. So out of all their eighth game, every time they think they're gonna win a game, they were right there to win a game. They lost. Every time they're like, yes, this is gonna be the game they win, they lose again. Every time, yes, this is a game, they lose again. Why am I sharing you with this? And as a mother who, I don't play about losing, right? Because we were born to win, right? And to watch them every game after game after game lose and lose. And sometimes it was their fault, and sometimes the team was just more experienced and lose, and still watch him go out with the same excitement every game, the same excitement every game. And I said, because in my head, I'm like, okay, well, I need to get him a soccer coach, or what do I need to do? What do I need to do? But my point of telling you the story is, I realized, like, coming to the last game, I realized that he go out with excitement to be with his friends. And the second to last game, I now was able to see what his challenge was towards the second to last game, right? I could not tell him or share with him where his challenge was until after the last game. Watching everything he do and watching what he doing and what he can improve on. I'm telling you this story because when we're talking about the business movement, creating a business movement in your business, we're going to show you how to do that. Trust me, I'm going to show you how to do that. But I learned what I'm getting ready to teach you just from watching my son go out day after day. And when I learned the first time, second time, this season wasn't about winning. This season wasn't about winning. This season was trying to find their rhythm. This season was trying to see who their competition was, what they need to do next time. It's just amazed me and I'm saying that to you because there's so many of us, when we sign up for coaching programs, when we start our business, when we start marketing, when we start posting on social media, we thinking immediately they're going to be a win. And I'm watching, learning from kids 11 and under has been teaching me lessons that there's no winning until we've mastered some skills. There's no winning until we master some fundamentals. And that was so unique for me. That was the aha moment for me, because mastery is learning skills, and you cannot master two skills at the same time. Oh, this is so good. I haven't started yet. So when we were talking about creative movement, we were talking about your business is your ministry, your business is your movement. You know that already. Tonight, Monday Night Live is to dive deeper on, if your business in the ministry, how do we create a movement around that? How do we create a movement around that? So your bonus of that movement is the money that you're able to make, right? By creating that movement. And just listening, someone, oh geez, I just about said you're talking about Sherry, you speaking to me. I love it. I love it. So one of the things I watch with them, because here's another thing too, like, as my son and as I'm traveling with him Saturday and Sunday and soccer game, soccer, I didn't have anything to say to him yet, because he has to show me first what he can do. Don't miss that. Don't miss that. Some of you guys are asking, what marketing work here? When should I post? How should I go live? How do I create a movement? How do I do this? My question has always been, what are you doing? Like my clients, when they come in, they have to start moving first. They have to start creating that event. They have to start doing that masterclass. They have to start posting. They have to start as they go. Then I'm inside of the group saying, hey, do this, don't do that. Hey, you're doing this good, we'll do that. There's so many you guys are standing still and asking for, what way do I go? What you don't realize, you have to go first. You have to take action, and it's in the doing that you get corrected. It's in, oh, this is so good. It's in the doing. Hey, Sharon, how you doing? Welcome to our Monday Night Live. It's in the doing that you get corrected. So if you're not doing, right? If you're not believing yourself to do, there's no one can help you. Don't miss that. Don't miss that. So we're talking about a three-step process of how to become an expert and create a movement, because that's what we're talking about, right? That's what we're talking about. How to be the expert. The expert do. If you're expert, do. And one of the ways is that making sense, y'all? Give me a yes in the chat if that making sense. The reason why I didn't have direction for my own son in soccer, I needed to see where he was. He had stopped playing soccer for about a year or two. So I needed to see where he was mentally, where he was in far as strategy. And let me tell you something, even in him, my son knows the soccer game so well. I'm gonna give you an example. There was one time the ref blew the whistle, and he ran on the field, and he realized, youngest one there, realized that there were too many his people on the field, and he didn't want to get a red flag or a yellow flag or whatever the flags that be getting. So he easily get off there and gave the other young man a chance to play, so his team don't get dinged for having more people on the team. Why am I saying this to you? That is learning the play. That is, you have to, before you think about money, you have to learn the play, learn the strategy, learn the tactics. So when you're learning the strategy, learning the tactics, I'm about to bust somebody's bubble right now. You're not going to be making money right now. You're not. You're in learning season. I don't know who I'm talking to, but you need to tag somebody to hear this. You're in learning season. When you're in learning season, no, you're not making money right now because you're in learning season. He's learning the game. No, they're not winning the game they're supposed to win right now because they're in learning season. They're learning who's the best in the field, in their arena, and they're learning what they need to be better at. And on top, oh, Jesus, this is so good. Y'all, I hope y'all ain't missing this. This is so good. This is so good. Oh my goodness. They're in learning season. So many of the times, like I would see a client not moving, and I would be in their DM like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? You good? And then I leave them alone because the I know it's for you to do. And when you do, then you get direction. Many times we're in business, and before we take the first step, we're asking people questions, and they can't help you because you have not taken the first step yet, right? So when you are creating, when you are I'm sorry, the three-step the process of how to become an expert and create your movement, the first thing I want you to understand, for you to create a movement, and for you to be an expert, you have to know how to find your voice. That's number one. That is number one, learning how to find your voice. Nikki, thank you for tagging. Find your voice. Now, why am I saying this? Many of you are not seeing the sales you need to see yet because no one has taught you this. And I'm teaching this in where am I going? Missouri. I'm heading to Missouri, Springfield, Missouri, and I'm going to be teaching this as well. So y'all get this first. You have to learn how to find your voice. Now, I hear Dolores is saying, "Hey, I'm running out of topics to talk to." What is she doing? She's mastering finding her voice. The more she do she's doing some challenges, and she's going through her 90-day challenge. She's finding her voice. So you're sometimes mixing up not making money with when the idea of you doing what you're doing is supposed to be finding your voice. Why is it that your upline tell you to dial 300 leads a day? It's not for you to make money. It's for you to find the rhythm in your voice. So by the time you find your voice, you can answer any objection that is presented to you because you have already mastered hearing that objection several times. No, y'all don't want to go through the process. And if you're not willing to go through the process, you're not ready for your first $1 million. Period. You're not ready for your first $1 million, because finding your voice, in the process of finding your voice, you're still you're still stacking skills. You're still stacking skills. So if you go into something saying, I got light bill, I got a water bill, I got phone bill to pay, we know that. But if you have faith and you're taking action, there's no way you cannot make money. No way. No way. What does finding your voice means? Finding your voice means I need to do the same thing every day, day in and day out. I need to do the same thing. I don't need to do a whole bunch of things. I need to do a few things, and I do it over and over and over again. Let me show you an example what I'm talking about. Mm. Faith without works is dead. That is so true. Faith without works is dead. Let me see if you can understand what I'm talking about. When I say finding your voice, what I mean by that, what I mean by that is, let's say this is your whole pie right here. All right. So this is what you need to get done. It's focus. It's not getting distracted by social media. It's focus. Finding your voice means you have to do the same thing hours on end. I went to a conference and someone said, one of the hosts of the conference, I just went to support. The host of the conference said, hey, I got to go check something in the back. Sherry, take the mic. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, okay. And I grabbed the mic and I started speaking. I started speaking to the audience. Now, it's her event. She gave me the mic. If I wasn't doing what I was doing, speaking over and over and over and over, I wouldn't have found my voice. That when somebody quickly out of nowhere give you a mic, you can talk, right? So that's what I mean by finding your voice. So that means focusing on one thing, mastering one thing. I'm gonna show you what I mean by that. I'm gonna show you this one first. Here's what I mean by finding your voice. If you decide that you're gonna do something, if you decide that, like when I decided that I'm gonna do one thing, let's say you decide that your number one thing you're gonna do to generate leads is you're gonna go live. Why are you going live? Because you're finding your voice. The more you speak, the more you talk, you'll find the rhythm of your voice, of what's good for you and what's not. Then what happened is you saw something on social media and somebody said, you need to have a podcast. So first it was just going live. Now you say, oh, I need a podcast. So now you went and got a podcast. So you see, half of your time is on going live on Facebook. The other half is on podcasts. Then you went somewhere else and they say, oh, you need a YouTube channel. So now, I wasn't in school, so y'all bear with me. Now you need a YouTube channel. So now your time is spent going live on Facebook, going on YouTube. Now you're doing a podcast. And somebody said, oh, you need to send out emails. So now you send out emails. So now you're going live. Now you're on a podcast. Now you're at YouTube. Now you send out emails. That sound familiar? Then they said, oh, but YouTube is not where it's at. It's TikTok. So you go on TikTok. So now your time is broken up. Going live, going to YouTube, going to email, going to podcast, now doing TikTok. But wait, there's more. Okay, so you're doing live. There's more. Now you're on Instagram. Right? I'm calling somebody out. Who am I calling? Sandra's covering her face, right? We're talking about finding our voice. right? We're talking about finding our voice. I love y'all transparency. I love y'all. Okay, I love this group. So now your time is with YouTube. Then you're going live. Then you're doing IG. Then you're doing TikTok. Then you're doing podcasts. Then you still got to send out the email, and you're one person. This not even include serving your clients. Plus, you got to serve your clients. Then somebody told you that take too long. You should be running ads. So now you're doing ads. So now you're doing ads. Oh, somebody also add blogs. Then you decide to do blogs. And then somebody said, oh no, there's no professional people on Facebook. You need to go to LinkedIn. That's where you need to be. So you're over here on LinkedIn. Your message and your voice is not dialed in yet, but you all the way live all over this place. You all the way live all over this place. You're still working on your target market. You're still working on honed in on your message, but you all the way live over here. And you by yourself. And you wonder why you're not making money. So how can we create a movement if we're not focused? How can we create a movement? When I said publish every day doesn't mean publish every day in all these spots. Publish every day means choose one spot. Honed in on that one spot. For me, it was this spot. Right? And you stay in that spot, and you gain attraction on that spot. You start making money on that spot. You know that spot working for you. You keep going and you keep going. Then the money from that spot, then you can add another spot to your spot and keep going. So she said they better tap in. This is good. Yes, they're better. In our training, we teach you one method. None of this. None of this. So when we're talking about finding your voice doesn't mean doing all the things. Find your voice does not. I had a girlfriend. She does business credit. She raised her whole business just on TikTok. Just on TikTok. She had one strategy. She take people from TikTok to her Facebook group. I.e. what I showed you. So they go from TikTok to her Facebook group. That's it. She didn't do Instagram. She didn't do none of that stuff. She didn't do YouTube. She'd go from TikTok. She made $350,000 that year in her business for the first time. Just TikTok to her Facebook group. That's it. So when we talk about creating a movement, there's no way you can create a movement doing all of this. Unless you have a team. Now, if you have a team, and I just arrived to the point where I have a team, so let's be clear on that. If you have a team, they come over, the team will post for you. But even for the most part, half the time my team posts what I'm already doing and just cut up the clips and repurpose it. But that's a whole team. So you're doing a job of like 7 people when you're trying to do this. Said you keep talking. You talk about me like that. Oh my goodness, I love it. So how can you can't create a movement if you got all of this going on? You haven't. Where can a person say they can find you? You can find me here 7:00 every Monday, 7 p.m. And if not here, is one of my super friends, one of my clients that I sit in from. But you can find some type of training that's going to move your business in your ankle. Right? So when we talk about learning the 3-step process of how to become an expert and create a movement, you got to figure out, number 2, how are you going to do? What you're going to do? Which one of this is going to be your sweet spot? Everybody I know who is successful now, they all had one area. They either, let's say they had a YouTube channel and they stick with their YouTube channel. That's it. They don't know nothing about Facebook. They don't know nothing about that. And if they go to Instagram is just to advertise their YouTube channel. They don't know nothing about blogging. They don't know about podcasts. If they're on a podcast, that's because they're a guest. I haven't been on LinkedIn in so long, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what's going on over there. No, you should go to LinkedIn because that's where everybody's at. They're more professional. So let me ask you a question. The same professional people on LinkedIn, what do you think when they get home? What do? They're on Facebook. They're on Facebook being real and authentic, not fake and bougie like on LinkedIn. So you have to ask yourself, are you creating a FOMO effect? We're thinking you need to be everywhere. Are you, or are you sitting here finding? So this is you. Does this make sense? Give me a 2 in the chat if this makes sense. If you can relate, and give me a 3 if you can relate to what I just said. She said, "God speak through God speak through you, Sherry." Yes. So, what do I need to do to find my voice? You need to focus on one thing and do that one thing over and 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 over again. So, what do I mean by that? The reason why I said do that one thing, if your one thing is, let's say your one thing is YouTube, right? Let's say your one thing is YouTube. Let's say it's that. Then, okay, how often can you do a YouTube video? Because your goal is to do the video, right? That to talk to your target market, right? So you got to figure out what you're going to publish, right? You got to publish as much as you can daily if you can. Let me tell you something. If you want people to start listening to you, you have to show up. You have to show up. If you learn how to publish daily for a year, you never have to worry about money again. If you and I get and listen, I guarantee it, and I know my attorney will be like, "Don't say guarantee." I guarantee it. If you learn how to publish your stuff for a year, that means maybe going live for a year, putting out video for a year in one platform, you will never have to worry about money again, because you will find your voice. You will find your voice, and your audience will have time to find you. You will find your voice, and your audience will have time to find you for a year. That's what I did. That's what I did for a year. We didn't say go live for 10 hours or 1 hour or even 30 minutes, for a whole year. Everyone who was successful on YouTube, they went live, put out videos, one video, two. I have a gentleman right now. He's a multimillionaire. He put out 2 videos per day. Per day. So why does a millionaire need to put out 2 videos per year? Because he know it work. Because once you put those video out, you create attraction on YouTube. So not only does he get paid from YouTube, he get paid from his product, whatever the product that he sell, and YouTube is paying him as well. And then he also get paid from his commissions, and he get paid from his affiliate. So he get paid from his finance. So he get paid from YouTube because he did it for a year, and and YouTube pay him every month, and then he sell his products, like what we teach in Credibility Cash Flow Challenge, his ebooks, his courses, his this, his that, and then he get paid from his downline and agents, and then he also get paid from companies who want to get in front of his audience, and affiliates who want to get in front of his audience. So he get 4 paycheck per month, and didn't have to go into 2 different industry to do it. Somebody missed that. Somebody missed that. Somebody missed that. When I was talking to my coach, he said the only thing I would have told you to do differently based on your success now, you should have started off in YouTube. That's the only thing he said. You should have done YouTube because you were already doing the video anyway. Yeah, so multi-stream of income, Nikki. But here is that Nikki? But no, Sandra. But is that okay? It take a little time to come in. Okay, Nikki. Yeah. But here's the thing: it wasn't multiple streams of income. Like I'm doing life insurance, but then I'm also working on my job, and then I'm also uh got some network marketing stuff going on. It's all encompassed in one thing. It's all That's the power of staying focused. I get a check from Facebook. That's the power of staying focused. I get a check from my affiliates every month. That's the power of staying focused. I get a check from Samcart. The Samcart is a CRM that one sales checkout company. They send me a check every month, and you probably never even heard me talk about Samcart. That's one of my affiliates. Only because I learned how to focus on one thing. And in focusing on one thing, I build my skill in speaking. In focusing on one thing, I learned how to be still, let my audience find me. And focusing on one skill. This is our first year dealing with an ads person. First year. Since 2018, this is my first year dealing with an ads person. So if you are going to become an expert and create a movement, you have to focus on one area, one platform until that platform generates you six figures. Until that platform don't generate you six figures, stay with that platform. Stay with it. That's how you know it's time to leave, because that platform has to be a well-oiled machine. Well, so what's happening, Sherry? You're saying that it sounds good and everything, but I don't have the ability to focus that long in 1 year from one platform, right? What happened when you're doing that is, one, you're building your lead magnet. That's number one, because the more you're doing it, is the more people seeing you. So that's number one. No, so number two, you're building your email list because they can expect you there every day, right? No, and here's what baffled me: the same people you're spending money with, whether they're telling you or not, that's what they did. The same people you're buying branded leads from, that's what they did. So if we're going to talk about becoming the expert, you have to find your voice. Because the reason why when you get on these sales call and you're having issue with your sales call is because you haven't found your voice yet. So when your upline said, hey, you need to call all these people, they're not really telling you to call all these people because they want you to make a whole bunch of sales. You may not even land sales. They want you to call all these people because the first thing they want you to do is to develop your voice. That's why they're asking you to do that. It's to develop your voice, finding who you are as a person. When you develop your voice, what may happen is you may start seeing when people say, I don't know what niche I want to be in. That's because you haven't found your voice yet. When you find your voice, you don't find your niche finds you. That's the difference. No, Dolores, you should not switch to YouTube yet. You should not switch to YouTube. Their niche finds you. So find your voice. Here's another juicy one I'm gonna tell y'all. Publish daily so you can start your own show, which I told you that I'm not gonna spend much time on that because I already said a whole credibility cash flow channels. Publish daily. But Sherry, I have nothing to sell. I have nothing. I have nothing. I'm running out of things to do. Okay, number three, which is so important, but everybody missed that. Everybody missed this. Everybody missed this. So what am I gonna sell? Well, you're not gonna create. You're gonna document. I heard Russell Brunson say this, and it was so amazing. Dolores, this is gonna fix what I'm getting ready to tell you. I don't know what topic to talk about. I don't want to say. You should be creating your whole life is a content. Your whole life. What did you do today that you can tell people about? What lessons you learned today that you can tell people about? What experience you went through today? What is a point of view? What is an aha moment? What is something? I just got on here telling you about something that my son, as a point of view, what happened with my son and how they had to stay in the losing state in order to build their skills. Because once your skills is mastered, whatever skill that is, whether it's lead generation skill, whether it's community building skill, whether it's creating a movement skill, whatever skill that is, because there's skills, what you do, you stack skills on top of skills. And that's when you start making money. I got a phone call today because there's a conference coming up and there's no woman, not even black woman. There's no woman, and they know my skills. So your your skills, find your voice. When you find your voice, naturally people will start coming to you, and the people that start coming to you for your service, for your value, then you know, oh, okay, all right. So that's number one. You find your voice. That's a skill. What does find your voice mean? Knowing how to speak, now how to communicate with people, like what we're doing right now. That's finding your voice, right? That's the power of finding your voice. Talking, 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 talking. Not always have to be about business, life. I just told you about what happened with my son. I just told you about how they have to stay in that law. Next game, they didn't win this one. Next one, they didn't win this. But the power of them, the skills that he's developed in my head, I'm like, oh, I can't wait till next year. Oh, I can't wait. Because if you this young, so I'm not looking at, oh my God, they lost it again. Oh my, I'm in my mind, my mature mind. That's why you got to stay in our group. I don't know why y'all in our group. I don't get it. But for the ones who is in there, that and from the outside, a premature mind will look at the team and be like, "Oh my God, they're always losing." But from a mature mind, and this is how investors, millionaires think. We see things that the outsider look as problems, we see solution. So from the immature mind, it's like, oh my God, they lost again. In my mind, I'm like, if this team is able to hold these big people, these more experienced soccer players, and can't let them score, I'm like, man, I just can't wait till next year. Man, I just can't wait because I see it in them. So when you are finding your voice, when you are going live and you speak and you're done, you're like, oh man, I should have said it this way. Oh, I should have said it that way. Oh, I forgot this part. Oh, I didn't do a call to action. Oh, I got to do this again. Or, all of those are stacking your skills. That's all of those are stacking your skills. That's what all of those are. Oh, let me try it again this way. Oh, I forgot to tell them about this policy and what this policy can do. All of that repetition is building you up. The more you do repetition until just become natural, till it just become natural to you. So now that you got that find your voice skill, and then while you're finding your voice, next skill, that's when you're creating a framework. So whether you're going live, doing YouTube, or whatever the thing is you may be doing, whatever God called you to do, whatever platform fits your thing that you do, you're creating a framework. Because I just said document, don't create. So if I'm finding my voice by going, doing whatever my action is daily, I'm putting out videos daily. Don't always got to be about business. It shouldn't even be about business. It should be 80% life, 20% business anyway. So you're putting yourself out there because you're working on finding your voice. You're working on finding your voice. And as you're doing it, what will start happening? You start seeing a pattern. You will start seeing a pattern because you're documenting what you're doing. You start seeing a pattern. And when you start seeing a pattern, that pattern becomes your framework. All right. So I have a whole Joyful Tribe system about how to create a community based on what I'm telling you right now. Based on what I'm telling you right now. So now you're documenting your framework. Okay, Monday I'm gonna talk about this. Tuesday I'm gonna talk about this. Wednesday I'm gonna talk about this. Friday I'm gonna talk about this. Winning Wednesday I'm gonna talk about. But you start seeing this pattern that you're developing, and you're gonna document it because that framework, because of what you did, you're gonna sell that later. And after you've developed your framework, it got to the point where it just becomes your show. It becomes your show. So you have the which is a platform that send out your voice. That's pretty much a platform. So you have your voice, you have your framework, you have your show, which is could be YouTube, Facebook, Facebook group, podcast, whatever it may be for you. But it's one you're gonna commit to. But you're not gonna commit to all of them. Is this making sense? Give me a high five in the chat if this helped anybody tonight. If this helped anyone today, you're finding your voice. When you're finding your voice, don't let nobody fool you. It's the hardest thing because it requires faith muscles. It's the hardest thing because it requires faith muscles because everyone around you is saying, why are you doing this? Nobody's showing up. I see you going live. Nobody's showing up. Why are you doing this? But they're not mature enough. Because let's be clear, this is why you need to be in coaching, right? This is us right here. This is you, right? And these are your coworkers, family, friends. You're the only entrepreneur, and these are your coworkers, family, friends. Everybody in pink dots are everyone who are not entrepreneur, so they don't understand your world. That's why we have events, master classes, and everything. Because so to give people like you, when I have a master class, a challenge, all this stuff, what that does, this is you again. It gives all the entrepreneurs, people in finance, women to come together. But on your daily life, you're the one in pink. It's you in blue, and everybody's in pink that don't understand your world. If you're in my coaching program, we call this the 2%. We're the 2%, right? Everybody else are the 98%. So that's why we have events like master classes, live events, in person, but to bring all our people together, so you don't feel alone. So you don't feel alone. This is your movement. You have to create that movement so your target market, your ideal client, don't feel alone. So when you're finding your voice, the people over here don't understand it. Don't understand why I'm on social media at 7 p.m. on Monday for free every day for the past 2 to 3 years. Why? That don't make no sense. Why? Because we're soulful selling. We're not bro marketing. We're soulful selling. Why? They don't get it. Don't get the concept of it. And so that's why I have masterclasses and challenges to unite other people to say, hey, I know you feel alone when you get off these masterclasses and challenges because your husband don't understand, your spouse don't understand why you're doing it, your kids don't understand why you do, your coworkers say don't take all that, and everybody around you don't understand. So you're just this dot by yourself and you can't figure out, you need help, you need people you can relate to. That's why you have to be in coaching programs. You have to be in great places where it's like-minded people. Because up here, you're just with the family members that don't understand. They don't get it. They think because I have a day off, because I work, it's their day off. Their time. Oh, you can do this. No, I can't. Can't do this. I got stuff to do. If you be patient with yourself to publish every day for a year, and I know that's a challenge for some of you. Yeah, I know it because it's not it will work. You just don't know if you have the faith to keep going to make it work. You know it will work. You just don't know if you have the adversity, with all the adversity that comes up. That's what you're worried about. We know the program work. Anyone, which I don't have much, that ever followed my system and it doesn't work is because they didn't work it. They didn't take it, or they give up too early when they're trying to find their voice. So find your voice. While you're finding your voice, what's going to happen? What does find your voice mean? That means you're going to publish every day for a year. Oh my God, Sherry, that's long. That's long. If you want people to start listening to you, you have to show up. You have to show up. So your sheep can hear your voice. This is a free game. Then when you're doing that, start documenting what you are doing. When you start documenting what you're doing, it don't take all that. You just showing up. Hey, the Lord laid this on my heart today, and I'm going to say this. Boom. Boom. It don't have to be rehearsed or any of that stuff. Hey, something happened in my mind. God give you. I was going to tell y'all the story about my son, and I said, I'll just wait till tonight and tell him. Right. So the framework, then they start being a framework. That's how I came with my Joyful Tribe system. The framework. I'm like, oh, the framework work. Then I'm like, oh, you try it. Then my girlfriend tried it when I told you we're doing TikTok. She tried it. I was like, oh, it worked. So we had to test it. It worked. And then some of y'all was in my VIP with Incredible Cash Flow. And my client Kayla says, I didn't do the masterclass. 18 people sign up, and I had to pay no ads from the framework. So you start develop a framework from how you're finding your voice, from the strategy you use to find your voice. You can sell this framework based on the strategy you're using to find your voice. And as you're creating that framework, now you have something called a show. And your show we have what we call here your movement. Because once you find your voice, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on a podcast, whether you're on LinkedIn, whether you're on blog, your people going to find you. Your people will find you wherever you are. But no one want to take the time to do this because that's the boring part. No one want to take the time to do this because there's no way you can be doing this. You can be putting out a video on YouTube, putting out a live on social media, putting out live in your Facebook group, going on a podcast, whatever the one thing is that you do, whether it's live on Instagram, doesn't matter, whatever that one thing that you do. There's no way you can keep doing that and somebody don't call you and said, hey, I need you to come speak for me. Hey, I need to come to my event. Hey, how much do you charge for speaking? Hey, do you want to speak in my Facebook group? Because they can't avoid you. They cannot avoid you. And then as you start doing that, naturally that framework come to you. And then your show now create that movement we're talking about. Then when it's time for you to sell your policy, your ebook, your course, or whatever it may be, it's sticking power. It's sticking power. It is a sticking power. Not all the extra stuff, just a camera or an audio. It don't have to be camera. It can be an audio. But whatever it is that one thing that you're doing to put yourself out there and speak about a point of view that moves your audience, that your audience can relate to. I noticed I didn't say niche yet. Your audience, because your niche find you. You don't find your niche when you find your voice, when your message is dialed in. And as you do that, your audience start reaching out to you in your DMs and start emailing you and say, I want to work with you. But nobody want to take the time. If you take the time to do this, you never have to worry about money again. You will never have to worry about money again if you take the time to do that. This is free game. And how do we speed up the process inside of our group? Because we work as a team. We support each other. So that's how we even move 10x our business. That's how we 10x our business within our group, because we work with each other. We support each other. We promote each other, all this stuff. So you may be missing that because you're not connected to a group and you can't get that for free. Cannot get that for free. Period. Never. And guess what? And there's no competition because not a lot of people are going to do this. Not a lot of people are going to do it. So there's no competition here. Whatever you choose. So if I got to end out, but whatever you choose, if you're going to, the 3-step process of how to become an expert and create a movement. And I want to say this, whoever you follow, I guarantee you they did this. I guarantee you they did this. I can count on everybody I know who is super successful today. Yes, they're running ads today, but they did this when they were on Periscope. Y'all remember Periscope? Y'all remember Periscope? They did this on Periscope. Who remember Periscope? Put me in the chat if you remember that. So you probably been following this since Periscope. So yes, they're successful today. You see the glamour, you see the money, you see the this, and you see that. But Periscope is kind of like Nikki, kind of like Facebook, kind of like it was like a Facebook thing. So if you're looking at somebody's growth and their success, this is what they did. I have somebody right now. She was in budget and finance group. What is that? That what's the name? The group with for the broke black girl. I think the group is called the broke black girl, but it's a group for budgeting. Facebook group. Tiffany Budgetnista. Facebook group going live. Cody. Cody was YouTube. Don, what y'all follow him? Don and his wife. Same thing. The branded leads that y'all are buying. This is what it did. They took the time to find a voice. And here's the thing, they're still doing it. They're just 10xing it with ads. They didn't change it, they're just 10xing it with ads. So by the time you see them and you see their success, they already had created a movement. So you can do the same thing, because God is not respecter of person. So if you want the 3-step process of how to become an expert and create your own movement, if this is something that you say, Sherry, I need help, I'm struggling with this in this area, just send us a DM. Just send me a DM inside of my DM, and I'll get back to you by tomorrow because it's family time or whatever. But we don't want to take forever to do this. And you don't have to take forever to do this if you have a community to help you push this. You get ready to do a show, you're not sure about the topic, drop it in our group. Everybody helping you out with that group. That's what you're missing, that support team. All right, that's all I got. Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Yeah, we have some things coming up, but I want to wait on that. But I want to challenge you right now inside our Facebook group. I want you to tell us what is the one thing you're going to focus on. So you're not doing the blogs, you're not doing the IG, what is the one thing that you promise that you're going to start publish on every day? Yes, I said every day for a year. Yes, you're going to build your faith muscles to do that for a year. And when I said publish, I don't mean a post. I mean really showing up to hear your voice speak so we can recognize your voice. I was on somebody else group and I was talking. The lady said she was in the kitchen and she said, "Oh, that's Sherry. I hear her voice." Right? Finding your voice. All right. So go ahead and put it inside our chat so we can I want to hold you accountable. And you hold your own self accountable, because you're gonna come back one day and say, "Hey, I remember I put this in here." And that's my promise to you. If you do this for a whole year, you never have to worry about money again. Why? Because your exposure is built. Why? Because opportunity gets enhanced. That's why you don't. You can create whatever you want from your expertise. You have a dial-in message that people get to understand. All right, my people, my ambitious women in sales and finance. I'll talk to you later. Have a good day.